Somalia, West Africa, very close to the border with Mali. They found on a huge granite mountain the half-portrait of a lady done in granite stone, and the size of this statue from top of the head until the middle of the torso is exactly 150 meters. So this is a real big question. Who might have been able to do such a huge granite half-portrait in a mountain at least 10 to 12,000 years ago, because the Italian geologist Professor Pittoni was on the spot. He did these photos and he checked the earth on the bottom of this mountain, and his calculation was that this stone monument must have been done at least 10 to 12,000 years ago. But then we have the real big question: who could have been able to do such a big stone monument? Even in our days, it would be impossible, or at least it would cost so much money that it would never be able to do. And if you look at the close-up of the face, some experts told me that this face definitely is not European, but also, of course, not black African. It must be either South American or Asian culture. But then again, we are at the point 10 to 12,000 years ago. It might be the civilization, the lost civilization from Atlantis. Close to this area in Sierra Leone, Professor Pittoni was in charge of diamond excavations. And as he heard in this area a legend about Allah was angry with some angels, and he put them into stone and throw them to the earth. He put the sky, also made it into stone and throw it to the earth, and he put the stars and throw them to the earth. The legend says that the sky you can see on this stone, they call them sky stones, sky blue stones found in this area under the earth. And we did research in Vienna. This is definitely artificial stone. It's not a natural stone, and all the material could be found, but the only thing they could not inform us is what kind of color did they use to get this real sky blue color. The stone figurines found from 20 meters down to even 50 meters. Professor Pittoni always took some organic material from the finding place, and the age dating of those stone artifacts are from 2,500 years up to the oldest one, 17,000 years. Here you have a granite stone, so-called nomoli, stone nomoli, with very nice encarving. Here you have a man sitting on an elephant, as there are also the legends of giants all over Africa. You know how big is an elephant. It's a wonderful stonework. It's very hard and very heavy. There are also some artifacts showing half human or human with the head of a reptile, holding a kind of pot in their hand, and they could put something inside this pot, and also on top of several nomolis there is a hole for putting something inside, and most probably they were used for ceremonies. Here you have a kind of animal. It looks like a dinosaur, and when Professor Pittoni found this statue, it was making a strange noise. So he opened the statue, and they found inside the small black ball you can see on the bottom of the statue, and this was iron material. When we did the research on this artifact, and especially on this metal ball, next morning the professor called me and told me, that somebody must have done a bad joke to me. I asked why. Because the result of the research was this metal material is chrome steel. And chrome steel was found first time at the beginning of the 20th century in Austria. That means it was impossible inside a statue with the age of approximately 17,000 years. But when I called immediately Professor Pittoni, he was laughing and he said, I'm a geologist. If a statue is making a strange sound, I do not open it just right away, but I did several X-rays, and you can see here on the right picture one of the X-ray photos, and you see that inside the closed statue already the round ball, the chrome steel ball, was existing. On this X-ray photo you can see exactly, and also Professor Pittoni saw that this statue in former days already was opened but perfectly closed again, and he called a specialist who opened it exactly concerning this photo, the small stone ball which was closing the hole inside, and you can see that the metal ball was already existing. Some of you might